A friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, and yeah, I'm talking about you again, bro, if you're watching. But a friend of mine brought up a point, and it's a point that I've been bringing up for many, many years, and I'm gonna re-explain my point. Okay. Um, in in a lot of videos, you see me sharing my views about reality, about life, about the world we live in, and about the behaviors of people and the mindsets of people. I speak about a lot of different topics, and I just package the whole thing in this topic, this, you know, category, this main big topic of reality, the lives we're living, the ways we live. And I also, in one of my videos, supposedly, or it was brought up that I mentioned that we need to be heard, and it was questioned. It was questioned like, heard by who? You know, who needs to hear us? My thoughts are my own thoughts, and why do I need to express myself all the time? Very, very true point, and that was my exact point. So I'm reiterating here. If anybody misunderstood, it's very important sometimes, whether they be short videos or long videos. You have to hear things not only in the right context. You have to hear things from start to finish. Otherwise, you may miss important things. What I was saying was not basically that I have thoughts about the world and that I want to share my views and tell everybody a better way from my angle. No, that's not what I do, okay? I do share what I believe are, good or better as opposed to negative based on my own experiences and perceived experiences. Um, however, yeah, I wasn't saying that I need to be heard. I said we need to be heard. I mean, a lot of people in society feel that they need to be heard all the time. Otherwise, they don't have this peace inside themselves. Like they can't accept themselves until others accept them, and this is totally wrong. I feel it's totally wrong because if you don't have self and acceptance of yourself, what can you do? You know, because, for 50% of people, let's just say for argument's sake, roughly, 50% of people that may accept you in your mind and all of that, there's also another 50%, roughly, that will not accept you for how you think and how you do things and how you live your life. So why would someone be bothered, and concerned with others constantly and the acceptance, being accepted by others? Because, in all walks of life, all parts of society, which is a man-made construct, don't forget, human-made, okay, in all areas, the poor and the rich, there are people amongst those groups that don't accept the people around them. Most people in society don't accept each other or themselves, and they have something against each other. And they say it's all about competition. These are the problems with society. This is why it's a very, 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 very flawed condition to put ourselves in as a human population of the earth, creating all kinds of cultures around the world, which we say we should respect, like each other's cultures, but we don't know how to respect individuals. Even too many people don't. I'm not putting myself in that group. I'm not boasting about knowing everything either. But what is a culture? A culture is, again, is just another place with a set of rules and conditions, habits of the mind. Everybody's mind is set in stone almost, and metal bars almost. They've put their minds in a prison state where certain thoughts are okay, certain ones are not, and it's all a confusion of what everybody else is saying. And they can't find any true knowing of what morality is because they're running away from nature constantly. Nature teaches us what's right and what's true, what's right and positive for the human body and life on earth. I know it sounds deep, but that's the truth. It might sound silly, but it's reality, okay? But these people, they're set on all kinds of rules and principles that were made up in a fake society, a fake system. So they're constantly attacking themselves. They've forgotten to listen to their human being. A human being, they're just listening to program code, Anyway, my point in these videos, when I'm doing these talk videos and I'm talking about, better ways of living and being honest and real and true to oneself, but going to the source of nature, you'll realize that nature's what's brought about all human beings. It's good for all of us. But, it's like the water of the earth to drink, air to breathe, and food to eat, and sunlight to help everything thrive. Light, truth, clarity, warmth, And keeping a cool head, as I always say. Keep warm in the cold times and keep cool in the heat, right? Keep cool in the heat and warm in the cold times. But I'm just saying, okay, keep you cool and keep your warmth, Keep your speech heard to yourself in your mind. But until you know peace, you won't know words, you won't know action. Until you know peace, inner peace, until you know peace as in a neutral position, peace, like non-action, you won't know action. Until you know your place, you won't know how to walk, how to step, how to get to that next journey, to make a journey anywhere. Until you have peace of all your body, like all your five senses, not working, just not action and work, but just peace here in this body of mine. That's the only time your five senses will be able to receive, or let's say interpret, and therefore bring about a natural kind of working which is of the mind, which is more in tune with a relationship with the physical world, so nature the same way as the body's in the world, You work so hard and you talk so much, but like a lot of people do, but like when sound comes to your ear, you hear it. When sight, I think Alan Watts brought this up before, when light shines to your eyes and reflects off of things, you see the colours, you see things, right? You see. Same for smell, taste, and feeling. Hot or cold, pain, whatever it is, you feel all these things. They just come to you. But when you're staring so hard, you just don't see it sometimes. When you're listening so hard, you just don't hear it sometimes. You see what I'm saying? So the body's ready for life. It's ready for knowing what good and bad is. What about the mind? Why is the mind always running away? Why are you always having to prove a point, and try to live in the imperfect world, especially for you, that someone else is trying to create for you based on their own cluttered mind, and they're not even happy in the world they're living in. And I'm not talking about the physical world, which they're also making this, fake chaotic society on top of the earth. But I'm saying the world that they're creating in their mind. We create these worlds in our mind. We put ourselves in mental insane asylums with the voices of screaming patients all around us in other rooms, and they don't really exist. It's just in the mind. It's like a ghost in the shell, and it's not even your own spirit. It's you've allowed them to possess your mind almost. Like some kind of illegal, migrant accepting hotel. You know what I mean? For a little joke for you there, but it's not funny what's going on in the world. But like I said already, the problems people bring to the world, the problems, it's like, you put bad food on your plate and then you start eating it, you're going to make yourself sick. If you don't if you don't do things which is good to look after this body, you're not going to be healthy. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. Like, I wasn't saying that we need to be heard. I was saying we need to be heard by ourselves. The speech in our minds, the vision, the images, the ideas, and the spaces between. The breath, which allows there to be life in our words. So there must be peace, moments of silence, which are like the breathing spaces, you say, which give the body life. So that same peace in the mind, where you turn off the senses from it, you turn off your noise, I should say, inner noise, so that you are then, the mind is able to then read the 5 senses of the body, what's going on, and there's one connection, mind and body. And your mind is able to then think a language, and there will be life breathed into the body of your speech. The mind as a person, as a physical. When that mind is then physically strong, that life breathed into it, it can then give that same essence to the body. Thank you for watching this video. My neck's aching. I had a fairly good sleep, but I'm going to go and get a cup of tea now. I hope you have a wonderful day. You have the day that you was born for. This is your moment. Every time. You always tell yourself that. Every time you forget. You know what I mean?